Here's the English translation of your story. Why do older people wake up at 3 a.m.? The answer is not something everyone dares to say. Have you ever woken up at 3 a.m.? Unsure why? No alarm, no noise? Everything is completely silent, yet you open your eyes. Your mind is unusually awake, as if something is trying to grab your attention. This is not uncommon, and it's certainly not a coincidence. Today, I want to share with you a story that's not just about sleep. It's about age, about a body that's changing, and about those deep things in the mind that sometimes only have a chance to speak when the night falls. Melatonin, a name both unfamiliar and familiar, is the first key. When we're younger, this hormone helps us sleep easily and deeply, but over time it decreases, making sleep no longer as solid as it once was. You go to bed at 9 p.m., and by 3 a.m., when melatonin has almost run out, you wake up not because you want to, but because your body thinks it's time. Some people get confused, like Harold, 72 years old, who once thought he had insomnia. But after understanding the nature of this change, he was no longer afraid. He adjusted the lighting in his bedroom, his bedtime, and found that he no longer startled awake in the middle of the night. And if he did, he could easily fall back asleep. Our bodies are like living clocks. As you grow older, the hands of the clock begin to move differently. You sleep earlier and therefore wake up earlier. Waking up at 3 a.m. isn't necessarily a system failure. Perhaps it's just a sign that you've slept enough according to your new biological rhythm. Then there are times when you wake up not because of your biological clock or hormones, but because your mind is whispering. Memories, unresolved things, unasked questions, all of these come to you in the stillness of the night. Gloria, 80 years old, lives alone and once feared those middle-of-the-night wake-ups. But then she turned it into a moment to write, to breathe, to live with the memories, not avoiding them, not worrying, and she found peace. And then there are everyday habits, tiny things that have a big impact on your sleep, like eating dinner too early, not moving enough during the day, or napping before your main sleep time. Walter, 74, once thought he had insomnia in his old age. But after changing a few small things in his daily routine, he found himself staying up later and waking up just as the sun rose. No more 3 a.m. stillness. The important thing is, if you're experiencing nights like this, know that it's not something wrong. You're not broken. You're simply changing. Sleep, age, emotions, they're all part of the human journey. And if 3 a.m. is the time you're reminded that you're still alive, maybe that's not such a bad thing after all. There's so much more for you to discover about yourself, not just in your sleep, but in those moments when you're most awake, most silent. If this story resonates with you or makes you think, please like, subscribe, and stay tuned for our next video. We'll share many more stories about aging, memories, and the things that you can only truly understand after half a lifetime. Feel free to let me know if you need further adjustments or anything else.